many, trying to encourage them or ask them to let me go by myself to live in a different city, my parents finally agreed and they let me move out. But at the time, I was going into what's called my fear zone. I wasn't sure what was waiting for me on the outside of the fear zone, but I knew I had to get out of the first circle. Whatever I had to do, I had to face it with bravery. I had to be strong. So, next one. My parents let me move out, but for 2 months, only 3 hours away. I now laugh looking at this picture because it's not really a big difference in terms of where I lived before, but at the time, I was a happy surfer on the waves of this newfound independence. It made me feel like a grown-up person, like an adult. I was a college student. But now I was on my own. I had to find my own apartment. I had to set up my own utilities like phone bills, my postal address. I had to find my own transportation to and from work. I had to do everything myself that I now appreciate my husband for doing. But all of this was really exciting, and it really helped me to grow to the next stage, which is the learning zone. In this zone, we're now not in the fear zone anymore. So whatever happens in here is not so scary. Fear comes from being uncertainty and not being prepared. But as you work your way out of uncertainty, you won't be so scared anymore. You will actually enjoy the challenges here. You're learning, you're developing new skills, new knowledge, you're getting new experiences, basically, that will help you build up that confidence. By the way, confidence is defined as the ability to see what's in you. It's the ability to see your own value, your own worth. It's having the trust in what you can do, your own trust. It doesn't come from other people's validation of what you do. So that little competition that you had with others to be the first in IELTS or maybe the best in something, it's not interesting anymore because it becomes internalized at this moment. You're now in competition with yourself, not with others. Maybe you don't need that 9 in IELTS, but there's something else in you that you have to do, and getting 9 is the first step towards it. So in the learning zone, after you're done with the fear zone, you're not scared anymore, but you still feel challenged because you're still learning. You're still processing new information, you're developing new skills, like I said, and the more you do, the more success you're going to see in the future. And you're going to work on your strengths, you're going to know, you're going to be able to pinpoint your mistakes, your weaknesses, and you won't be afraid to work on them. Next point. And then you go into the growth zone. This is actually like your personal development workshop. In the growth zone, you are still learning to a certain degree, but now you feel different. You feel grown in terms of your own mentality, your own thinking, your thoughts, the way you rationalize things, the way you make decisions. It's going to be completely different. This is where you will experience a complete personal transformation, and it's beautiful. You don't really care about other people, what they're doing, what they're achieving. All you do is you look in the mirror and you give yourself pep talks. Do I need to go speak to someone? I can do it. Do I need to go take that test? I can do it. You're not feared anymore. And you already have the skills and knowledge you need from the learning zone to help you propel into the next stage. So with this newfound independence that I had from when I lived 3 hours away from home, I found courage to ask my parents to let me move away farther. So my next journey landed me in Paris, France. After, again, many conversations with my parents, trying to convince them why I should go away to a different country, while we were already away from our homeland, I was able to convince them. And they allowed me to go. It's actually a study abroad opportunity in Paris. But, you know, every step you take is like the rungs of a ladder. It's getting you higher up, closer to your goal, to your potential, and it's making you more competitive. Next point. So eventually, you will see what success is like. It's not success in terms of being the best, like I said, or being the first, right? Being the first Lady Niner, it doesn't really mean anything to me at this point. What it means is more responsibility. So success for me is responsibility, having other people's trust in me to do what I do best. It's not showing off, it's not being arrogant, it's not saying I'm the first, you're the second, because that's not where value is, right? And eventually, for yourself, maybe success is not that far away. It's not really a big deal anymore. Maybe you just need to be more confident in terms of speaking to new people. When you just talk with one person today, you already met someone new. All you have to do now is work on that relationship. Make each friendship meaningful. Make each conversation long-lasting and meaningful. And then, next slide. I'm going to give you some tips before I finish on how you can expand your comfort zone. So when you have a goal, it might be so far away that it looks overwhelming to you. It's so distant. You have a goal, which is good, but it's so overwhelming, it's difficult, you have to take this one big jump. For example, going from IELTS 6 to IELTS 8, right? I don't think any instructor who may be sitting in here would say that's achievable in 2 months. But this is hard. But when you take smaller steps that are more manageable, more achievable, it makes the process a bit more easier. It doesn't have to be 4 jumps like in this picture. It could be as many jumps as you want. Because when you're in this part where you're learning and growing, it's not about time. It's about your own speed, your own readiness, your own confidence. And the more you take these smaller steps to become, to get to the next goal, to get to the next stage, you're going to build up that confidence even more. So you're going to be more confident. You're not missing out on anything anymore. And my first tip then is to take smaller steps to build momentum. Next one. As you do that, you will start to make mistakes. You'll see that you're making a lot of mistakes. You're failing a lot, right? IELTS 6, IELTS 6 again, IELTS 6.5, IELTS 6 again. But that's okay. That's how it works. You have to go through that step. You have to go through the difficulty, the challenge, to finally know what you did is worth something. So you can see here, success is not easily achievable. Successful people weren't born successful. For example, take Elon Musk. Just recently, he launched his 8th Starship rocket. So why do you think he's been launching these rockets over and over? It cost him millions, maybe not billions of dollars in time, effort, energy, labor costs, maintenance, products, equipment. Because his main goal is to send people to Moon or Mars in the future. I think 2026. But until then, he's spending all of this energy and money into perfecting his product to make sure that he makes every mistake possible now so that when he has people in it, there's no room for imperfection. So successful people have to work hard at it, just like you will have to work hard at achieving something that you want. And eventually, you will hit that perfect nail. And you will feel like you achieved something amazing. But now you have, so that now your learning zone and your growth zone become your comfort zone. Your circle is getting bigger and bigger. And then you're going to keep going, continuing the cycle. You're going to go into the fear zone whenever you want to try something new, and that takes you into your learning zone again, and that goes into your growth zone. And soon you'll know you have all these new skills and exciting adventures that you had, and you just have an amazing life. Next slide. So my other tip is be okay with mistakes. But now, in order to do that, you have to set yourself smaller goals. Start with a to-do list. It'll help keep you organized and more focused on each activity, but it'll also make your consistency better. And you need consistency to achieve anything, right? People cannot do one thing today and not do it, and then do it again and achieve the same results. Time changes things. So you have to be consistent at your preparation for anything, okay? So I'd like to end this by First of all, encouraging you to identify one thing that's in your to-do list, in your goal, and take the first step to achieving that. Maybe it's to expand your social circle. Talk to somebody new today, right here. Or maybe it's to apply for a new job or a new, or I don't know, maybe for a job or maybe to take a test or something, but you need some skills or hobby for that. You need to build up your resume. So start a hobby today. Join an organization to volunteer, just like this one. Start making friendships in places you don't expect. If you want to become a good leader, start by taking a small leadership role in organizations or in your school clubs. But whatever you do, don't go backwards, go forward. Any step forward is success, and you have to celebrate each one of those. So I'd like to say, don't be discouraged by the long journey ahead of you, if you have a long journey ahead of you, and just look at what's in front of you, but don't lose your main goal from sight. And don't be afraid to do something different. Don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's what you have to do to become successful. It's not easy standing up here talking to you guys right now because I'm really nervous and I mostly forgot everything that I had to say in order, but I feel like I'm doing a good job. But I want to thank you. I want to encourage you guys to make that change too, to be brave in yourself, to trust in your own abilities, in your own future, and reach your full potential. Because at the end of the day, you only got one life to live. Make it a good one. Thank you.